Welcome to Ultimate Manhwa Reader. Today's Manhwa is Cultivation Begins by raising the Demon Clan's Empress. Enjoy the video and hit that notification bell as you like, comment, and subscribe to catch all our future series. Let's get started. In the beginning of the Xianxia world, although giant beasts ran rampant, resources were extremely scarce. Later generations called it the Desolate Era. After myriad years, spiritual Kai resurged, and the demon race, human race, and cultivators rise one after another. The Tuan world ushered in an age of flourishing prosperity, the Cultivation Era. However, the greedy cultivators plundered spirit plants and spirit soil everywhere, persecuting the demon race. For resources, cultivators did not hesitate to initiate wars with the demon race. If they couldn't obtain it, they would destroy it directly. Today, sects are numerous, resources are depleted, and giant beasts are reawakening. If you want to cultivate in this dangerous world, you must rely on a sect. And this barren era is also known as the Second Desolate Era. Just a little pollination, why such a temper? Looks like I'll have to wait until you're in a better mood next time. Xianxia, time for dinner. You need to eat well to have the strength to work. Xian sect outer sect disciple He Yin. Hurry, oh, I'm coming. Today it's Tian Yuan's favorite, durian jelly chicken alrighty. Wipe your face first, oh. Alright, let's eat him, sorry to trouble you. My name is Tian Yuan. As you can see, I'm an inconspicuous servant gardener in the sect. In my previous life, I was born with crippled legs and could only spend my days with flowers and plants. Although my body couldn't travel far, in my heart, I had a dream of freely roaming myriad realms as a cultivator. Kidian online game Diamond God tier player. However, all of this came to an abrupt halt that day when I was listening to the radio in the courtyard. Today's Sagittarius horoscope, great luck, you're about to hit the jackpot, yay. When I opened my eyes again, the scene before me had transformed into the one I yearned for in my dreams. In other words, I can cultivate, who knows, probably just obsessed with cultivating. What's that Tian guy yelling about over there? Should I be a handsome sword cultivator, a glamorous artifact cultivator, or a mysterious talisman cultivator? However, just when I was thinking of using my cultivation knowledge to make a big splash, I found out I'm actually a good-for-nothing without a spiritual root. Memories flooded back like a tide. You don't even have a spiritual root. What cultivation are you talking about, huh? I don't know if it was heaven's compensation, but although I don't have a spiritual root, I possess an innate flora sacred body. Because this special constitution allows me to have a greater affinity with plants, the sect master made an exception and let me manage the precious spirit herb garden. Oh my, has it grown this big already? But this constitution also has a troublesome effect. Tian Yuan, you're so amazing, you've worked for so long but you still smell so good. That is, this constitution makes my body emit the unusual fragrance of spirit plants. That doesn't mean you have to get so close. What can I do? This is junior sister He Mayo, who entered the sect at the same time as me. We were originally from the same hometown, and after joining the sect, we became the closest of friends. What can I do? If I get close to you, I'll smell nice too. I really can't do anything about you, just for a little while, okay, Tian Yuan, you're the best. However, this kind of life doesn't seem too bad either. Tian Yuan, eek. The sect master asked you to manage the spirit herb garden. Are you slacking off here because you want to be punished? I'll get to work right away, please don't blame me. Himayo, get up quickly, it's dinner time. Crap, how did I run into this woman? I hear her punishments are severe. She's the one person in Xian's sect you shouldn't provoke. Tian Yuan is just a mortal. Are you trying to work him to death by making him work at high noon? I've provoked her. It is Tian Yuan's responsibility to take care of this spirit herb garden daily. Besides, you should also have sect missions that you haven't completed. Are you slacking off by lazing around here? You come here every day to bother Tian Yuan. Do you just look down on us disciples with weak cultivation that much? Calm, say whatever you want. I am merely fulfilling my duties as head disciple. I will absolutely not allow you to bully Tian Yuan. Himayo, don't be rash. Overestimating your own abilities. Himayo. Are you okay? Cough. I am fine. How could you be so heavy-handed with a fellow disciple? I was merely exercising my supervisory authority as head disciple. I hope you all fulfill your sect duties properly in the future. I don't want you two meeting privately during work hours. Tian Yuan, do you understand? You're on your own. It's bandaged. Luckily, the injury isn't too severe. Seriously, what right does such a harsh woman have to be the head disciple of Xian sect? Don't say that. The head disciple is just too upright and incorruptible. When fellow disciples are in danger, she's also the first one to rush up and help. That woman is targeting you like this and you're still speaking up for her. Isn't she just bullying others because her cultivation is high? If I could get a wisteria herb to improve my cultivation, I would never let her act so wantonly again. Wisteria herb, I can help you get it. Tian Yuan, you're not thinking of stealing. We can't say things like that out loud. Ahem. Anyway, just leave this to me, Tian Yuan. Boo-hoo-hoo, Tian Yuan, you're so good to me. Wah, don't wipe your snot on me. At this hour, everyone should have returned to their cave abodes to meditate, right? Doesn't that make the spirit herb garden my domain then? But I should probably water the spirit herbs first, and then apply an object control talisman. The weeds have been growing way too fast lately. Oh dear, why are these few wisteria herbs growing so densely? Growing too densely will affect their growth. Is that so? How come I wasn't aware of that? Xian Sect Master, perfected Master Xian. Sect Master, I was just helping you trim the weeds. Do you believe me? Loarg, now that you're caught red-handed with the goods, you vile beast, you still dare to argue. Beat him to death, yes. Himayo. Wait. Master, please stop hitting Tian Yuan. If this continues, his limbs will be broken. Himayo. As expected in the end, it was still Himayo who pleaded for me. Master, please, for my sake. Just leave his body intact. Himayo, what do you mean by this? Exactly what it sounds like, of course. Tian Yuan. If you have to blame someone, blame yourself for being too slow. I hinted so many times before, but you only just now stole a wisteria herb for me. Don't worry, after you die, I'll take charge of the entire spirit herb garden. You won't have to bother stealing spirit herbs anymore, Himayo. Why? Beat him to death and bury him over there. The flora sacred body is still effective even when buried in the ground. Master is wise and brilliant. Master, wait a moment. Although Tian Yuan was wrong to steal the spirit herb, Himayo instigated all of this. Is that so? It is true. I just used an image recording. That's not true, Master. I've been wronged. It's clearly her and Tian Yuan who are having an affair. That's why she's targeting me. There's such a thing. Of course, Master, you treat me the best. How could I steal your things? He, you only steal my heart, my little sweetheart. Master, if you are so unable to distinguish right from wrong, then I, a disciple, would rather not stay in the Xian sect. Master, they're trying to escape. My disciple, don't be anxious. Cough, cough, it's you. Why did you save me? Worry about yourself first, you muddle-headed fool who can't even live properly. My Xian sect is not a place where you can come and go as you please. Ah. Get back here. Master, you're so annoying. Didn't you promise to leave the body intact? He, it's all my fault for not holding back. Mio meow, don't worry, the flora sacred body is useful even if it's shattered. I'm not dead yet. Did when you protect me with her body? It's just a pity that I'm immortal. These injuries mean I'm not far from death either. If I could do it all over again, you'd probably save me again, wouldn't you? Am I going to die again? That damn Himayo, she actually deceived me for so long, and that vicious old bastard. Do they really have to exterminate us completely? Why should when you and I die while you bastards get to live so smugly? If I could do it all over again. I'll kill that despicable pair with my own hands. Congratulations, host, you have entered a near-death state and awakened the prodigious gardener system. System, what took you so long? Host has successfully awakened the system. Awakening rewards are now being distributed, however. You've come at just the right time, obtained 100,000-year flower demon seed. The flower demon seed requires the host's essence blood to activate. Do you wish to use it? Do you even need to ask? Flower demon seed activating. That thief Tian Yuan has been eliminated. Master, about managing the spirit herb garden, rest assured from now on you'll be fully in charge here. What's this? This must be something good. I'll secretly dig it out first, then we'll see. Can't let that vixen take all the benefits. Wait, leave my share. This is a cosmic phenomenon. What is this? Why did such a huge flower suddenly sprout in our spirit herb garden? For such a cosmic phenomenon to occur, there's no doubt this is at least a 10,000-year great demon. Just as we humans have 4 major cultivation realms: heaven, earth, mystic, and yellow. The demon race is correspondingly divided into 10,000-year spirit demons, 100,000-year great demons, million-year demon kings, and 10-million-year demon emperors. Ordinary spirit herbs less than 100 years old are already sufficient for cultivation. If I refine this spirit demon, I dare not even imagine the benefits. Master, but this spirit demon looks just like a human. How can it be refined? What nonsense are you spouting? Spirit demons can't shapeshift. Bloom demon race, Xianxia. I have slept for a long time. This, a spirit demon that's actually taken human form. Just how powerful a great demon must this be? Voice transmitting morning glory. Central Province Demon Emperor Feihua calling the demon emperors of the 4 directions. Mei Mei, Siu, Ui, Yaoyu, respond if you can hear me. Hiss. Dull ache, those guys, they couldn't have been so useless as to actually die in that great war, could they? What are you two standing around for? Go capture her for me. Us, capture a great demon. This great demon has just awakened and she's a plant spirit. Her combat power definitely isn't strong. Capture her and I will surely reward you handsomely. Yes. Forget it. Anyway, I've always felt one Empress on this continent is enough. Humans, all of you deserve to die. What is this, peony flowers? How is it so weak? How could my power have diminished this much? Such terrifying power, there's no way I can deal with this. Of the 36 stratagems, fleeing is best, trying to escape. Too late. Unscathed. Damn it, I must have slept for too long. I can't control my current power properly. If I just focus a little more, it'll definitely be fine. Die. How did my powers suddenly vanish? What on earth is happening? Ha ha ha, I knew it. You've just awakened, so you're definitely not at full strength. Take this, vile Kai from the east. Once I refine and absorb you, I will definitely break through to the heaven rank. I finally managed to awaken after so much difficulty, only to die so senselessly at the hands of humans again. This flower demon you gave as a reward is too weak, isn't she? She was only tough for a moment before getting pinned down and beaten. I am the micro gardener system. The host needs to make contact with the planted spirit plant for me to achieve maximum effect. In other words, I need to rush up and touch her right. Give me your hand, I'm dead either way. I'll trust you this one time, system. You vile creature. Damn it, so close. Don't just stand there. Quick, grab my hand. I am Feihua, the demon emperor of the central province. A mere human wants to grab my hand. You brat, you're still not dead. Looks like I'll have to see you off personally. Humans truly are incorrigible, facing death, yet you still want to defile me, but... Gua, this scent on him, for some reason it makes me feel so reassured, so comfortable. My body uncontrollably wants to get closer to him. But touching hands, that's impossible. Gotcha. Congratulations, host, for successfully catching the required spirit plant. This is Awakening active talent divine power. The ability you mentioned is planting a great demon in my belly. The Danshan is also a field. My power, what's happening to it? How did I end up here? Spirit herb detected planted in host's Danshan, extracting spirit herb source energy. Playing your little tricks and stealing my spirit herb. I'll dig her out of your belly right now. System, quick, save me. Human plant union. Xianxia mountain gate. How is this possible? Damn it, couldn't you have picked a better sounding name? My heavens, the power of this sword strike is way too strong, isn't it? Is this still the Uzel's tie-in I know? My control over my power is still far too lacking. This strike actually went so far off. I refuse to believe I'll miss again from this close. Violet Kai from the East Extwo, you damn brat, don't you underestimate me. Such terrifying power, what in the world happened to this kid? Oh, hi. Old geezer. Eat my kicks. Today, I'll use your blood to begin my path of counterattack. Cough, cough. Gurgle, gurgle. Just a reckless brute who only knows how to hack about without any technique, and you dare dream of paving your way with my blood. Xian Sword Art Purple Mood, activate, you're clearly just a pervert, Tianyuan. Let's talk, take this ho so fast as expected. However, can your purple mood even work on me in my plant person form? It was deflected, Tianyuan. Dodge quickly, Feihua, too bad. This. So what if a good-for-nothing grass power, the understanding and experience I've cultivated for many years are a chasm you can never bridge? Let's see how long you can last. Indeed, a mere member of the human race, even if they obtain my power, wouldn't know how to use it. Am I going to perish just after awakening? This is. I've written over a dozen cultivation novels, and this is the first time someone's told me I have no understanding or experience in cultivation. It's just using spiritual Kai to strike the sword body at high frequency. You think I can't do that? He actually caught it. This sword can actually regenerate. I was careless. That's right, it's longer and harder now. Can't your fight be a little more serious? All cultivation techniques in the world are merely creations based on the external release and internal convergence of spiritual power. Watch closely, I call this move. Yua Pai under the peony flowers. He actually used the characteristics of plants to speed up the absorption of spiritual Kai, then unleashed it all in one go. This kid's use of spiritual Kai is even above mine. Time's about up. Hi. Damn it, this old codger is actually no match for Tian Yuan. Could it be that all my previous sacrifices were in vain? Hold on, for the sake of our master-disciple relationship, how about you spare me? As long as you let me go, the spirit herb garden will be yours from now on, and you can also have your way with that little bitch Himayo. Alright, I can choose not to kill you. Really? Our master-disciple relationship was entirely ruined by that bitch. Kill her, and there's still room for reconciliation between us. Indeed, this worthless slut spouts nonsense and slanders others. She truly deserves to die, master. No, I don't want to die. For your master's life, you'll have to make a little sacrifice first. That kid can't possibly maintain that state forever. I will definitely avenge you in the future. Such a soft-hearted brat, still showing mercy in this situation. You completely don't understand how sinister human intentions can be. You actually tricked me. I've written so many novels, how could I not know what kind of bastards you villains are? Not bad, you human are very interesting. Kiss my toes, this is your chance to become my exclusive slave. Idiot, a mere summoned creature wants to be my master. Talk about turning the world upside down. You bastard, believe it or not, I'll kill you right now. Mere human, what's going on? Why do I feel such a thrill after being hit by a mere human? Something's not right. Why is his whole body filled with an aura that I crave? Come here. I can't, my body is completely out of my control. My first kiss, What do you think you're doing? It's not enough. Just being near him replenishes my depleted body. Umph. Don't even think about escaping. I almost suffocated. Ha ha, that should be enough, I think. Damn you, human race, what kind of wicked art did you use on me? Let me go, or I'll rearrange your face. You're the one who forced yourself on me. I didn't do anything, and besides, you stole my first kiss the moment you showed up, you big pervert. Do you think that wasn't my first kiss too? That makes us even. You're a 10,000-year great demon, and that was your first kiss. Is that any of your business? How absurd to think I'd make such a fool of myself in front of a mere member of the human race, even if you did save me. You'd be better off as a corpse that can't talk. Don't be so casual about trying to silence me. My power is actually recovering. Could it be because of this human? Good chance, time to bolt. Whenever I get even a little close to this human, my body can't resist the urge to absorb his power. Damn it. I have to kill him sooner or later anyway. Might as well use him to recover a bit more power first. Don't you dare try anything funny, I'm your master. Quick, give me more. What the hell do you want me to give you? It's not nearly enough, not nearly enough. Please don't bite me. Powers, let me recover more of my power. What's wrong? You had the nerve to make me do this, but you can't even last for a little while. I can't. There's not a single drop left. I'll spare you for now, but don't think this is over, beast. I am a plant. The power I've recovered so far would be completely drained in a single fight. This man can't die yet. The formation is fixed. Quick, get inside. The sect master's aura is gone. This isn't right. Sect master, your disciple Xianxia has come to lend you a hand. Where did this pest come from? Wait, most of the disciples in the sect are innocent. I can't let her go on a killing spree. Get lost. If you don't get lost, I'll kill you too. It missed, you little brat. What kind of trick did you just pull? Don't forget that you were grown from my danshan. Without my cooperation, don't even think about using your power freely. Let them go, Puha. Ha ha ha, it seems your own kind doesn't appreciate your help. As expected, the human race is full of ungrateful beasts. You guys were right, this guy just fought perfected Master Xian, so he must be incredibly weak right now. Once I become the sect master, I'll make sure to reward you all handsomely. Thank you, second senior brother Xin. It's absolutely true. Did he really kill the sect master? Are you insane? I'm trying to save you. Die. Once you're dead, not only will the sect master's position be mine, but that horned woman of yours will be mine too. Ha ha, watch your filthy mouth, you pest. Who said I was his woman? Say goodbye to this world. If that stone hammer hits me, I'm dead. I still have a little power left from my plant person form. I have to use that move. Senior brother Xin. Senior brother Xin, are you okay? I'm fine. It was all bark and no bite. He's just bluffing. He can't even break through my defenses, as expected of senior brother Xin. Hee, I wasn't bluffing. Now that you've taken that hit, are you feeling a certain warmth below your stomach? Now that you mention it, it's actually a little comfortable. Ah, my pants. Your yellow realm spiritual power is just energy absorbed from the outside world and stored in your danshan. All I have to do is inject a little of my spiritual power into your danshan for a miraculous effect. I call this move one AI breaks all techniques. It's nothing more than making me unable to hold my pee. With that last palm strike, you only showed the strength of the early stage yellow rank. I'm still the one who's going to win. You just won't listen. I'll beat the piss out of you for real. The sect master's seat is mine. Aheha. Xian Stonehammer 1 Kai breaks all techniques. Xian 3 Flowers 1 Kai breaks all techniques. Is that the only move you know? 1 Kai breaks all techniques. How boring. But how can a human use demonic power to cast arts? Since you won't let me use my demonic power, I'll just give it back to you. Don't you disappoint me, human brat. Xian Aga, an opening Kai. That's not right. He actually blew up the mountain. What a terrifying art. This humble one was blind to your greatness, sect master. Please spare my life. Don't call me sect master. Go tell everyone to disperse. The Xian sect is no more. I almost killed someone. Good thing I controlled my strength. That sudden surge of power must have been her doing. Give it up, as long as I'm here you can forget about running wild. Shut up. Don't bother me, I'm thinking. That move he just used, did it not only incorporate the demonic power I transferred to him but also enhance it? It was the same before. For him to create arts after fusing with a flower demon's abilities is simply unheard of. My demon race's power is innately strong, but we can't control it precisely. We often lose out against the cunning and varied arts of the human race. If our demonic power could be as flexible as that of the human race, then the one who won 10,000 years ago would have been me. System, is there really no other way? That is correct. This system has already done its best. The host senior sister's physical body will decay within a week. We've only known each other for a few years, and there isn't a single good memory. But it wasn't until today that I realized I've misunderstood you all this time. It turns out you weren't targeting me. You've always been that upright and incorruptible senior sister who isn't afraid of the powerful. Is there really nothing that can be done? No, this is the cultivation world. There's no way there isn't a single life-saving heavenly treasure. System. System, search for all the life-saving spirit plants in this world. The prodigious gardener system is amazing, as expected. It really does have an index function. My 10 years of experience writing web novels haven't gone to waste. 15 results have been found for the host. Mycelial cordyceps, a material used by the corpse-driving sect to refine living corpses. Blue-silver emperor, the consciousness of the blue-silver emperor will devour the deceased's body. Hallucinogenic poisonous mushroom, if the host consumes it, they will experience the illusion of the deceased being resurrected. Hold on a minute. What kind of moronic solutions are these? Get serious. Host, don't be anxious, let me rephrase him. Immortal lotus root, if planted in the deceased's body before it decays, the deceased will be reborn as a lotus demon, retaining their memories and personality. This seems to be the only way to preserve senior sister's consciousness, but this way, she wouldn't even be human anymore. I don't care, I'll save her first and worry about the rest later. System, hurry and mark the location of the immortal lotus root for me. This system does not have a feature for locating spirit plants. Then what the hell are you good for? Host, stop. Although this system cannot do it. It's here. Damn it all, to think this tiny Xian sect was hiding so many spirit plants. Help. Whoa, these spirit plants have all become sentient. I'm poisoned. Why didn't anyone say it was so dangerous here? Hee hee, do you little ones want to have a taste of a cultivator too? Fine by me. Digest them and grow quickly so you can aid me. But speaking of which, you all look quite healthy. Could it be that the person who planted you is a master of the art of gardening? I planted them, that annoying voice. Stop it all of you, Ajayo, Ziohua Ziome. Holy crap, how did this side courtyard turn into a primeval forest? No eating people. Good girls, spit them out. Interesting, I didn't expect the spirit plants to actually listen to you. Besides the demon emperors of the four directions and myself, you're the first. Of course, don't underestimate the bond between us. Whoa, Ajayo, what are you doing? You, giving names to these spirit plants that lack full consciousness. How disgusting. These beasts obviously came back to steal the spirit plants. You're actually going to let them go twice, leaving them all behind as flower fertilizer would be perfect. Tian Yuan, save us one more time. It was all Xin Sheng's idea. Where's Xin Sheng? Get out here and take the blame. Xin Sheng is foaming at the mouth. Since the main culprit is already dead, let the rest of them leave. I won't concern myself with whether they live or die. More importantly, do you know where the immortal lotus root is? Oh, you want to save someone? Yes, to save my senior sister. She's my savior. I just need to know its location. I am the progenitor of all flowers, so of course I can sense it. But why should I tell an annoying member of the human race like you? Gulp. I'll work hard to help you recover your power. Pervert. Trade their lives for it, otherwise you can forget about knowing where the immortal lotus root is. Hey, don't drag us into your lover's quarrel. This. Damn it, in a normal cultivation novel, a ruthless and decisive protagonist would have killed off these nobodies long ago. I don't want to foam at the mouth, suffocating. Have mercy, I have an old mother, and below, I don't have any kids yet. After really transmigrating, how could I just kill people at the drop of a hat? Wouldn't that make me a psychopathic serial killer? Forget it, maybe I'm just not fated to be the protagonist of a power fantasy novel. I guess I'll have to try this method. Did you scumbags hear that? Fairy Feihua wants your worthless lives. First you tried to usurp the throne, then you stole spirit plants. Your crimes are unforgivable. If perfected Master Xian were alive, he would have had you all sliced into 1,000 pieces. But now, the merciful Fairy Feihua urgently needs to restore her former spirit plant army. So what are you going to do? I will now impart the method of cultivating spirit plants to you. You must raise the spirit plants to be big and strong. Fairy Feihua doesn't want to be a commander without an army, right? Well said, Well said, my ass, who wants these mindless things as an army. I was almost tricked by you. Kid, as the master of all flowers, can you really bear to see these little cuties go untended? They are pretty cute. In that case, I must see results. If these useless fools fail to take care of my followers, I will kill them one by one. Thank you, Fairy Feihua, for sparing our lives. Thank you, Sect Master Tian Yuan, for saving our lives. This disciple swears to work like a horse and ox for the Tian Yuan sect for the rest of his life. All right, stop being an eyesore and scram. I'll call you over if I need anything. Yes, Sect Master, I'm a Sect Master now. Oh well, I guess this is my fate. Their lives are already yours. Can you tell me where the immortal lotus root is now? I'm just afraid that while you may live to find it, you won't live to take it. Hurry, put up the new plaque. Sect Master, please take a look. This plaque represents our admiration for you, Sect Master. It's as endless as a surging river, as overflowing as the Yellow River. All right, they actually named the sect after me. This is so embarrassing. But then again, it feels pretty damn good to have people suck up to you. Hess, getting carried away already. I had 100 million times more followers than you back in the ancient era. Fairy, no, hello, Master's wife. Who are you calling Master's wife? Are you looking to die? Sorry. If you spout any more nonsense, I'll rip out your tongues and hang you from a tree with them. I just need to get my power back. Who'd want to be his cultivation partner? What's going on? Suddenly, I find her kind of cute. You didn't teach them to say that, did you? No, I didn't. Oh, cute my ass. Okay, just tell me where the immortal lotus root is. I'm just afraid you'll back out after you hear it. It all started several 100,000 years ago. A human race cultivator calling himself Emperor Bailing suddenly rose to power and led the charge in plundering my fellow spirit plant kin. At that time, my spirit plant kin were spread all across the world, and he would reward human race cultivators with our captured kin for them to refine, making us countless enemies while also becoming the very foundation upon which many sects were built. And among them is the present-day Bliss sect. It was the most evil and twisted sect of its time. I can feel that the immortal lotus root is there. It's been so long, how can you be sure the Bliss sect still exists? Because purple mood is the Bliss sect's secret technique. With your current strength, you'd just be going to your death. Those damn perverts. It's disgusting just thinking about them. That does sound pretty evil and twisted. So I advise you to wait until I've recovered my power before you go. He doesn't think I'm some kind of thirsty, promiscuous woman, does he, after all, to do that kind of thing? No way, if we delay any longer, senior sister will be done for. You promised me. Hurry up and think of something, the omnipotent Fairy Feihua. Don't get handsy, sorry. You're not allowed to touch me except to restore my power, otherwise saving your senior sister is off the table. Fine. As long as you save my senior sister, I'll listen to you. Whenever this human gets close, my heart won't stop pounding. I can't let him get near me so casually. If you don't have enough power, there are ways to work around it. As long as I am here, there's no problem. But you must follow my commands, understand? Then I'll get ready and we'll head out. Hey, which one of you has a storage ring? I need to bring eldest senior sister along too, so I can resurrect her right away. Report, I have one. I'll take you to perfected Master Xian's treasury. Here we are, hee, the old geezer dropped some loot, a classic part of any satisfying cultivation novel. This kid is so naive. Oh well, the more naive he is, the easier he is to control. Just be a good little puppet for me. Besides, as long as I find Mayway there, I'll have another chance to start a celestial war. So this is a marrow-cleansing pill. It doesn't look any different from how they're described in novels. System, can I use this thing? The host's cultivation system is different. Consuming medicinal pills would be of little use. Fine, it's yours. Whoa. Sect Master, aren't you going to use it yourself? I have my own opportunities. I have no need for such a mundane item. Hey, the Sect Master actually called a high-grade spirit pill a mundane item, and he's always talking to thin air. I bet there's a mighty expert residing in his sea of consciousness. Sect Master Tian Yuan's power is truly bottomless. Not only can he control a demon emperor, but he's also so low-key, he's unfathomable. They're hyping me up all on their own, so the tropes from those misunderstanding comedy novels really do exist. But if I want to make these turncoats submit completely, this isn't enough. Since you've already glimpsed my true power, I shall no longer hide it. I am the reincarnation of a celestial. Joining the Xian sect was merely a part of my mortal trial. If any of you feign compliance, I won't even have to act myself. The restrictions I've placed on you will immediately blow you into flower fertilizer. Restrictions? When did he place them? But I'm not an unreasonable person. These medicinal pills will be distributed to all sect disciples to improve their cultivation. As long as I give them a little something sweet, they'll overlook the logical fallacies and submit to me wholeheartedly. Not only did Sect Master Tian save our lives, he's also granting us a great opportunity. Sect Master Tian is so righteous, we'll definitely take good care of the spirit plants. We won't let down the Sect Master's grace. By the way, I'll be leaving the sect for a few days. What's your name? I'm leaving this place in your care for now. If there's an emergency, crush this voice-transmitting flower to tell me. Eep, this kid looks like he gets bullied every day. Giving him a little authority should be enough to keep these guys in line. I'm called Xiao Migao. Why me? Don't tell me he's already seen through my disguise. I heard that the new sect master is a total pervert who does indecent things with women in broad daylight. Is he hinting at something? That sounds like a girl's name. Wah, I've really been exposed. Never mind, get to work. If you don't farm the land well, I'll have Feihua punish you severely. Xiao Migao, keep a close eye on them. Yes. Time to hand out the goods to the bros. Migao, when you get promoted, don't forget to help us out. Ahaha. Let's see how you high-end mighty cultivators like a taste of being slaves. Alright, I can finally have the treasury all to myself. Let me see if there are any weapons here that suit me. The cloud-stirking sword, isn't that the magical artifact that old geezer Xian has most reluctant to iter old geezer? Nice sword, it's mine now. Now this is more like it. This is what cultivation is all about. System, what's going on? The cloud-stirring sword possesses a divine sense and has automatically transformed into the magical artifact most suitable for the host. System. Say, why is this stupid hoe hitting people? It says, it's not a stupid sword. You are now to refer to it as the golden shovel. It is now angry. With this setup, can I really save eldest senior sister? Success depends on human effort, host. Beyond the borders, the endless desert. Xian sect, damn it. Beyond the borders, the endless desert. It's so hot. Are you sure we didn't take a wrong turn? Are you questioning me? We've flown for thousands of miles without seeing a single soul. This Xuan Yuan world really is desolate. My knowledge of the Xuan Yuan world is still too limited. Relying on a stolen sect won't be enough to establish a foothold. I must gather more information as soon as possible. Report, the host's spiritual power has been depleted. The golden shovel will now make an emergency landing. Damn system, why didn't you say so sooner? This system figured the host never asked. Hiss, I fell from so high and didn't even die. My luck really is great. What's great, stop. Stop hitting me, it's the golden shovel that uses up too much spiritual power. If you think you can do better, then you try it. You still have the nerve to talk. Isn't most of my spiritual power with you? Then why don't you just lead the way obediently? Are we just going to forget about you taking liberties with me? Haven't you harassed me enough? How dare you do such a shameless thing in broad daylight? Die, you despicable pair. Today, I will enact justice on behalf of the heavens. Quicksand burial, get buried alive in the sand. It worked, ha ha ha, serves you right. Mercy, stop hitting me. Sand got into some weird places. You little brat, you dare to stand in my way. Cough, cough, who are you? Why did you attack me? Explain yourself, so strong. These two are at least at the mid-stage Earth realm. I've run into some tough customers. However, eat sand, you evil cultivators from the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss. Whoa. How did we run into robbers in a place like this? Gone in a flash, hey, that little thief stole the golden shovel. Holy shit, when? Hey, got it, when it comes to escape arts, no one is my match, sand diving art. As long as I have this bliss token, sneaking into the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss will be a piece of cake. Wow, what the hell is this? Got you, you little artifact thief. Get off me, you disgusting evil cultivator. Why? I knew there had to be a grotto heaven beneath this endless desert. Looks like this is your lair. I'm screwed, they actually followed me to the village. I have to get everyone to escape quickly, he. You've got some nerve chasing me all the way here. If you don't want to die, then scram. My thousands of companions will be here any second to grind you into meat paste. Jai. Thousands of them, Feihua, prepare to merge. This is going to be a tough fight. Are you an idiot? Soon, I'll do this and that to you. My methods are extremely cruel. If you don't believe me, just go ask around about the name Lai Tang of the desert. It's enough to stop a child from crying at night. Great, they bought it. Big bro Lai Tang, we're here to help you. Holy shit. Why, oof. You little brat, how dare you make a fool out of me? I'm going to teach you a lesson. Sigh, let's just end this farce and get back to business. Striking with a heavy fist, idiots. Didn't we agree that the green signal meant to escape through the secret passage immediately? Why didn't you listen? You beat up big bro Lai Tang like this. You spawn of the Alliance of Ultimate Bigs. Let him go. If you've got the guts, fight us one-on-one. No, you've always been the one protecting us. This time, it's our turn to protect big bro Lai Tang. Kill us or torture us, do what you will. We will never go back to being your human cauldrons. By the moon goddess above, you will definitely face retribution. Stop, what is all this nonsense? We're not from the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss. You robbers stole my magical artifact and now you're trying to pin the blame on us, is that it? Is this, Ahaha, so it wasn't a bliss token after all. I thought only perverts from the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss would do such lewd things in broad daylight. Oh, what are you doing? This is all your fault, so it was all a misunderstanding. I'll return this to you unharmed. Sorry, my apologies. You have no strength, yet you come out to rob people. You think a simple apology is enough. Dream on. A misunderstanding? I'm not a robber. Fellow Taoist, whatever compensation you want, I'll be sure to provide it. It's just that my village is poor, I'm afraid. It seems they really aren't from the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss. In any case, I need to find a way to bluff my way through this first. Who wants your spirit stones? You think I'm that easy to deal with, eh? You attacked us because you mistook us for people from the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss, right? Tell me your objective and everything you know about the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss, and I'll consider letting you go. Oh, so that's how it is. Let's see what this guy is all about, get some intel out of him, and maybe even drag this cunning little thief into my mess. In the past, the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss was located in the central city of the Endless Desert and had nothing to do with our small border town. Until one day they captured a primordial giant beast that slumbered in the desert, Xianxia. They used some unknown secret art to control it, and even moved the entire Alliance of Ultimate Bliss onto its back, traveling between the various villages. From then on, the cultivators of the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss constantly exploited the villages for their wealth and provisions. They even abducted all the able-bodied men and women to serve as human cauldrons for their cultivation. They didn't even spare the children. The Xianxia clan, which had lived here for 1,000 years, was destroyed in just a few short years. We tried to resist, but the alliance of ultimate bliss was too strong. We could only watch helplessly as our children were taken away by those beasts. My little sister was among them. Later, I found this underground cavern and settled the survivors and the children who were cast out after being used up here. At the same time, I was waiting for a chance to rescue my little sister, which is why I attacked you. That's all. Oh. Hiss, did just trigger a side quest. I just wanted to steal an immortal lotus root to save my senior sister. Don't drag me into this. So you wanted to snatch a bliss token to sneak into the alliance of ultimate bliss and save your little sister, right? How did you know? Because I'm a genius. But this kid's idea isn't half bad. Still, where am I supposed to get a bliss token? I knew there had to be a grotto heaven beneath this endless desert. Looks like this is the lair of the Xianxia clan. Aren't those my lines? Hee, so the remnants of the Xianxia clan are hiding here. Teehee, catching them all would be quite the prize. The thought of what's about to happen is making my bliss token tremble with excitement. Crap, did the fight just now attract them? Mystic realm pressure, there's no way I can take them on alone. I'd better trick these two into helping. Ugh, who are these perverts? I guess I'll have to play the victim. Fellow Taoists, I have a favor to ask. Please take the children and run. My name is Lai Tang and I don't think I'm going to make it. But the children are innocent. They are the last hope of the Xianxia clan. Die, you perverts! I've laid Iton this thick. Anyone would feel compelled to help me. Besides, it seems like these two have a grudge against the alliance of ultimate bliss, too. A mere yellow realm cultivator thinks he can challenge us. A masochist, I like it. Why isn't he helping me yet? God, it hurts. My bones feel like they're about to snap. God. Ho, she's actually a stunner. Ew, what a fine specimen. Give her to me after you've broken her. Let me have the first taste, you beasts. All right, that was just a little punishment for trying to guilt-trip me. Even though I hate being guilt-tripped, this trick does work on me. Could it be, so, you want to play the hero saving the damsel in distress? Do you have to ride that ridiculous-looking magical artifact to fly? Help, I was just challenged by a mortal who's way below my level. You think this is funny? I'll show you what a mortal can do. Feihua combine. Why are you hiding so far away? There's no way I'm fighting these disgusting things. I'll transfer my demonic power to you. You deal with it yourself. You're actually relying on a woman. Your pathé tick display is making me go soft. Ho, in a moment, I'll let you experience the pleasure of being a woman. Fine, with Feihua's demonic power backing me up, even a mortal like me was able to create my own techniques. I might as well take this opportunity to see what level I'm really at. And whether I can defeat a mystic realm cultivator. Go die ho. Uprooting a mountain. The demonic power is draining so fast, there's no mistaking it. He's using demonic power to create techniques. What a terrifying spell. Benefactor, what is your cultivation level? I don't have a cultivation level, I'm just a mortal. You can put me down now, this is so embarrassing. Ha, I even surprised myself with that one. This is great. Now all the techniques I came up with for my novel can be brought to life in this world. You have some skill, I'll give you that. When I revive the demon race, you'll be my #1 lackey. Hey, let's get this straight. We're partners, not that kind of relationship. So you don't know what's good for you, is that it? Looking for a fight, are you? Benefactors, with your profound methods and your dual cultivation divine technique, may I ask about your origins? I must repay your kindness. It's not dual cultivation, that's not dual cultivation. Even if it looks like it, it doesn't count. Just stop asking. I don't need you to repay me either. This place has been exposed. Hurry up, pack your things, and get your people out of here. Benefactor, you acted because of the bliss token, right? Could it be you're also planning to infiltrate the alliance of ultimate bliss? Yeah, you could say that. Let's be clear, I'm going there to save someone too. I can't spare the effort to rescue your little sister as well. Benefactor, you're being too formal. I truly just want to offer my humble assistance as a token of my gratitude. This is a floor plan of the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss. It also comes with a portrait of my little sister. She's super cute. This is just you asking me to save her anyway, isn't it? Oh, come on, don't be so cold. If we coordinate our efforts, it won't be that difficult. Benefactor, would you like to hear my plan? It's like he's a completely different person. This is the weakest point with the fewest guards. Benefactor, you can use that move from before to blast a big hole here for an escape route. Making such a huge commotion will just get us chased by reinforcements, won't it? That's the second step. After everyone has been moved, I'll transform this place into an underground labyrinth full of traps. My Xianxia clan's runic traps can ensnare anyone, whether they are in the heaven, earth, mystic, or yellow realm. Finally, this is my little sister. What do you think, Benefactor? Are you willing to lend me a hand? After it's done, whether you want me to repay you with my body or the secret treasure of the Xianxia clan, anything is fine. I'll see how it goes. Repaying with your body won't be necessary. I've memorized her face. Whether I run into her or not is up to fate. I just hope this secret treasure you mentioned actually exists. I've inexplicably taken on another responsibility. I'll just have to play it by ear. But the Xianxia clan's cultivation system is unique. I'm really curious what their secret treasure is. Thank you, Benefactor. What a sincere benefactor. Benefactor, this is as far as I can take you. Go forward for 3 lie. With the Bliss token, you can enter the sect protecting formation. I will lie in wait here for your signal, Benefactor. Okay, make sure you don't get discovered either, right? Making me wear these kinds of clothes. I'll remember this. Wait, what is it? This is a blessing rune from my Xianxia clan. May the moon goddess protect you, benefactors, and grant you a safe return. We're leaving. What's wrong with me? For a moment, I actually hoped they wouldn't go. That place is too evil. No, this is the only chance to save my sister. You two are new here, aren't you? You're dressed too conservatively. You're not qualified to participate in the Bliss Grand Ceremony. Huh, this is conservative. Huh. No, that one, isn't she even more conservative? I was so confident in my outfit too, me. I'm transgender, you know, see my sexy little mustache. I'll be on my way, please come in. Are they all idiots? Ugh. Sop, can I go in now? Yes, that's our sex legacy technique, purple mood. Your movements are just a little unpracticed. The Bliss token is also active. You can go in. Damn it, what's the difference between performing that and taking a dump in public? Learning it so fast, you're really cut from the same cloth as that old dog Xian. Hold on, you haven't shown your special skill yet. Just having the token isn't enough. Get your filthy hands off me, you fat pig, or I'll make you wish you were dead. Crap, I'm going to get into a fight before I've even made it inside the sect. Hey, so it's our sex queen-ass hiss, I'm drooling. Please come right in, that's all it takes. Come find me after the grand ceremony. My name is Lai Xingnu. Disgusting, she seems to really like you. Alliance of Ultimate Bliss, Inner Hall Alliance Master. Fei Bo's life tablet shattered. You have to get justice for me. He was my favorite subordinate, the 3 heroes of Bliss, Bo Gang. If a life tablet shatters, the person is crippled, if not dead. Such is fate, such is suffering. The 3 heroes of Bliss, perfected Master Kucha, there's no need to be so agitated. What do you mean, he wasn't your subordinate? Silence, you shrew. Gua, it's Beanpole's life tablet, my most prized disciple. If you die, whose life essence will I absorb? Ha 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 ha, serves you right, bastard. Who are you saying deserved it? I can't take it anymore. I'm going to kill you. Quiet, both of you. You're both about to become branch sect masters. How can you lose your composure like this? Alliance of Ultimate Bliss Master, Luigi. But the Bliss Grand Ceremony is upon us, and many unaligned sects are using it as an opportunity to infiltrate. I am certain that the culprits who harmed our disciples are hiding within our alliance right now. When the time comes, we'll catch them all in one fell swoop, then follow the clues to swallow up their sects. The techniques you two cultivate require quite a few living souls, don't they? This time, I'll allow you to go all out. Phew phew foo foo, it's been a while since I've had bung with cultivator filling. He, then I'll finally have some materials for my alchemy furnace. I'm eager to see what fun this year's Bliss Grand Ceremony will bring. Alliance of Ultimate Bliss Master's Peak. The Alliance of Ultimate Bliss is certainly a sight to behold, but the thought that all these well-dressed people are a bunch of perverts is just nauseating. First things first, I need to find the immortal lotus root. It could show up in the arena tournament or the auction house, but it's most likely in the sect treasury. I can't keep an eye on all those places at once. Hey, you two, stop. Bring me some meat. What kind of crappy Bliss Grand Ceremony is this? There's not even enough food to pick my teeth with. And you are? Looks like they've mistaken me for a servant from the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss. I am Perfected Master Zukun. I am an honored guest invited by your Alliance Master. Take me to the treasury. I want to eat meat. You want to go to the treasury, and so do I. Don't provoke her. Her cultivation is only mid-stage Earth Realm, but her body is incredibly tough. I know you want to get information out of her, but she has a strange aura. I'm telling you, be careful. This cross-dressing brat is actually this strong. Could she be some old monster specializing in body tempering? But the more suspicious she is, the more of an opportunity this is. Since we have the same goal, I might as well take a gamble and try to win her over. Lead the way, of course. I'll take you to find some meat right away, Perfected Master. This doesn't look like the treasury. You're right, this isn't the treasury. I presume you weren't really looking for meat either, Perfected Master. What do you mean? Are you trying to make a fool of me? I guessed right, she's not some honored guest of the Alliance Master after all. Please calm down, Perfected Master. We don't want to alert the people from the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss. You're not from the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss. My name is Wang Yuan. Like you, I'm here to find the treasury. Someone this straightforward has to be easy to fool. If you want to find the treasury, ask a servant. Why ask me? What kind of servant would tell you where the treasury is? I'll just lie and say I'm looking for food. Who would believe you're looking for food in the treasury? Sigh. Did she fry her brain from cultivating? Well then, I'll just have to make good use of her. This won't work, that won't work. Then what do you suggest? We cooperate, of course. Take a look, Perfected Master. The Bliss Cup Fighting Tournament. The winner gets to choose one treasure from the treasury. You think I haven't thought of that, but what I want isn't on the prize list. That's where our cooperation comes in. You win the tournament, and when a servant goes to retrieve the prize, I'll follow them and then we'll know where the treasury is, right? And so on. Oh, right. But what's in it for you? You want to go to the treasury and I want the prize. It's that simple. She's surprisingly sharp about some things. If you help me get the immortal lotus root, Perfected Master, I'll take you to the treasury. How about it? Deal. Thus, the Zukun Wang Yun combo is born. You really think this idiot can win? Eat and drink your fill, then get in a fight. Smashing, looting, and stealing is the life. With a body that strong, who could possibly beat her if cultivation levels were equalized? Wang Yun, what are you muttering about? Keep up, coming. Glutton, haven't you warmed up enough yet? Enough, stop fighting. You're qualified. What's your name? The demon instructor was defeated just like that. What's the deal with that genderbender? I heard they use goo art. My name is Zio Huey, and this is my goo worm partner, Glut. Protein. Hey, are you sure it's okay to leave that girl all by herself on stage? Don't worry, it's only the round of 16. The finals are a long way off. Humans die. Besides, she's knocked out every opponent with a single punch so far. It's a waste of time to keep watching. We might as well look around. According to the map, the slave auction should be right around here, right? A slave auction? Just look around. I bet he's just looking for an excuse to save that girl from the Xianxia clan. This kid's so naive, thinking he can just save someone. If I don't keep him in check, he's going to cause trouble. Auctions, an indispensable element in any cultivation novel. Do you really have time to be looking at this? Our two esteemed guests, your private room is this way. We just have to be back before the finals. High-grade spirit stones, Is that a bliss token? Must be nice to be rich. 2 high-grade spirit stones gets you this kind of treatment. Do you have any idea how many lives you could buy with 2 high-grade spirit stones? I can't use them for my cultivation anyway. I'd rather buy a few more handy magical artifacts. I want some too then, you're paying. Welcome everyone, you've certainly come to the right place, and now I'd like to introduce the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss's newest invention. The Beastified Lust Maiden. The Beastified Lust Maidens are handpicked by our Alliance's cultivators. They are meticulously refined using the secret rune arts of the Xianxia clan. These slaves have been modified and trained. They're all untouched, and they possess an extraordinary wildness and desire. They will make your essence harvesting twice as effective while also adding a bit of spice. Animals, have you forgotten what we came here for? Don't you want to save your senior sister? That, of course I know, damn it, this is the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss. I should have expected this. I have plenty of spirit stones. Hey auctioneer, do these slaves hurt people? An excellent question, why don't you come down and be the first to try, fellow Taoist? All right. This is obedience water. This potion was originally for spirit beasts, but the beastified lust maidens are half human, half beast. That's Manhwa. Therefore, you can control their bodies and make them do your bidding while their minds remain perfectly clear. So come on, give it a try, fellow Taoist. Hehehem, hurry up and take off your clothes. Vile beast. What do you think you're doing? Do you have any idea who runs this place? I'll take all of these girls, here's the deposit. I can't hold back anymore. If I let this go on, who knows what else these animals will do. 1,000 high-grade spirit stones, what a sucker this. I've got to milk this for all it's worth. I won't have to worry about this year's quota. I've really hit the jackpot. This is against the rules of the auction. You have to add more money, fellow Taoist. Are you saying that you people abducting young girls everywhere is within the rules? Cough, cough, you idiot. All for mere mortal. Was it worth it? Cough, cough. Why, I'm just a shill. Don't kill me. I almost forgot about you. All perverts deserve to die. Eek, don't kill me. I was wrong. I was really wrong. Causing trouble in my alliance of ultimate bliss. Are you trying to ruin my reputation? Looks like your little hero act is over, kid. He, not bad. Fellow Taoists, there is no need to panic. I am one of the 3 heroes of the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss Zuying. With me here to protect you all, it won't be long. Before the auction can happily continue, are you hurt? This human actually has this much power. What's that noise? Who cares? I'm itching for a fight. Welcome back to the semifinals of the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss Grand Arena Tournament. Let's welcome He contestant from the red corner, Perfected Master Zukun. Perfected Master, I love you. The Perfected Master is awesome. And the dark horse who's made it this far against all odds, from the blue corners Io Huey and her goo worm partner, Glutton. Our opponent is strong. Protein. Glutton, I want to have your worms. Zio Huey is my wife. All right, it was no easy feat for these 2 contestants to fight their way here, so, may I ask, after fighting so hard to get here, what is the treasure you desire most? The immortal lotus root. They have the same goal, then into whose hands will the treasure, the immortal lotus root, fall? The semifinals of the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss Grand Arena Tournament begin. This is interesting indeed. Since Zuying has made a move, Bo Gang, you go and test out those 2 body cultivators, as you command. A little while ago. Everyone, please be patient. Once I've dealt with these 2 hooligans, we can continue with the delightful auction. Little sister, get back. Feihua, combine him. Good. Oh, trying to blind me with a bright light. A petty trick. I can take your head without needing to see. This armor is peculiar. Where did that woman go? Could it be a dual cultivation technique? That didn't feel right. Not good. I hope this holds. Little sister, you're a bit slow on the uptake. This is demonic art. Sorry, my body feels a little weak. You brat, trying to restrain me with vines. Don't you know the other title I, Zuying, go by? Cage, what the hell? Isn't that title copyrighted? Leave the merchandise behind. Stop, one more step, I'll kill her, huh? Are you insane? Aren't you afraid Zuying will actually take another step? Idiot, how will we know if we don't try? Are we really going to die for these people? Stop, don't hurt her, we can talk about this, it actually worked. Ha, did you think I'd actually say that? Alright, this distance should be about right. Beast taming sumo ring. Get back here. That's right, the beastified list maidens aren't even considered human. The beast taming ring can store them too. To all our distinguished guests, if you're worried your wives won't be happy with your purchase, you can simply hide them in a storage ring. Hee hee, that's a great idea. This Zuying is a hell of a salesman, he's even got me convinced. Once I've executed this troublemaker, I will offer my sincerest apologies to you all. Everything in the second half of the auction will be %20 off. This is a limited time offer. I'll take my spirit stones. You wouldn't be human if you didn't buy this. The Alliance of Ultimate Bliss should mass produce these. Hee hee hee. This old man will buy 10. Hey, the plan failed. Let's get out of here. Hey, how can you treat people like livestock? Don't you realize that stopping him just now was the limit for the two of us? This kid is about to do something reckless again. You want to get yourself killed and drag me down with you? Do you have to be such a bleeding heart? He's much stronger than that old dog Xian. Besides, just as he said, that woman isn't even considered human anymore. Are you even considered human? I don't care if you were a demon empress or a great demon in the past, and maybe in your eyes, we've just been using each other this whole time, but in my eyes, you're a person too. This silly kid thinks of me as one of his own kind. If you think I'm a bleeding heart, then so be it. After combining, we have so many options at our disposal. If I don't even try to save someone with all this power, it would go against my principles as a human being. If one day you were in the same situation, I would risk my life to save you too. What are you two whispering about? You can tell it to the King of Hell. How that feeling did I miss? That was close. I almost lost my head. Focus, I've already saved you twice. Thanks, let's grab the Sumeru ring and bounce. Trying that trick again. Cage release. Multiple cage clone technique. Let's see you dodge this. Sword come. Cloud-stirring sword has detected the host's new form and automatically adapted. A high-grade magical artifact. This is my golden shovel. The power of a high-grade magical artifact is truly incredible. The clones are ultimately no match for it, but... Bloodrobe technique. Zuying, what is the meaning of this? We are your honored guests, wah. Hee hee, distinguished guests, no need to worry. I'm just borrowing your bodies for a moment. After this man has been executed, I will be sure to return your corpses to your respective sects. Vile beast, die. To be able to hold your own against this old man, you're quite interesting. Protein, you're pretty strong to be able to suppress even my boxing goo. Say old man, why do you want the immortal lotus root? Could it be to save someone? Save your grandpa. Hee hee hee, what a treasure I've found. I never thought they were actually. Cloud dispelling palm. Got protein. Now's my chance. Fierce bug flying kick. You're not even as strong as that bug. Get off the stage. Contestant Zio Huey was careless. Is the march about to be decided? Good job, glutton ha protein, how can that thing fly? That's cheating. Although her actions were rather roguish, contestant Zio Huey did not use any cultivation. Therefore, it is not against the rules. Now, what tricks are you trying to pull now? Take this, this is the complete. Fierce bug flying kick. Astonishing power, I can't see what's happening on the stage at all. Hiss, you've got some skills to actually make this old man feel pain. Now this old man is about to get serious. Ahem, a formidable opponent. Whoa, how is this possible? The stage is gone. Would you two like to wait for the stage's formation to be repaired before fighting again? If they keep fighting, I'm afraid the bystanders will be harmed. No need to wait. They can challenge me, the champion, together. But Lord Hero, that's against the rules, At least let us set up the formation again. Are you trying to talk rules with me, one of the 3 heroes of the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss? No, I wouldn't dare, Lord Hero. Call me Your Highness the Princess. Hee hee, this is just a small interlude. Although I don't need to follow the rules, as long as you two defeat me, the championship title and the prize will be awarded to you both as usual. After all, why must a woman make things difficult for another woman? How did she know this old man is a woman? Protein, has my disguise been seen through? Heh, no need to be surprised. I also know that neither of you has used your full strength, so will you two attack together now or take a rest? Oh my, let's do it, no need to rest. He, don't be in such a hurry, you two, let me state the new rules. The entire alliance of ultimate bliss is the arena, and you may release your cultivation as you please. As for how victory is decided, to the death. Lord Zukun, you still have the mind to worry about others. Protein. Gluttony. Don't run away, are you all right? Protein, even to think she could shatter Glutton's outer shell, what monstrous strength. What was that noise? How dare you ambush me, this emperor, and put me in such a sorry state? Heaven and Earth simulation meteor palm. Lord Zukun is so strong. It missed impossible. Ha, why would it be impossible? After using the blissful divine oil, I'm not someone you can defeat with brute force alone. Oof. Is this girl an idiot? She knew her body was slippery, yet she stood in a place like that. If she falls to her death, does that count as our win? Heh, they've let their guard down as expected. Then it's time to use this move. Could it be that's her technique? You will fill the void left by the sorrow of losing my subordinates. Secret art, bliss disco. Alliance of ultimate bliss, inner. Alliance master. He, it seems your harvest was plentiful. Kucha, this old man killed a total of 25 spies. They were from the Tianian sect, Yellow Dragon sect, Red Ghost sect, and Sun Moon sect, respectively. I have specifically left these 4 heads for soul searching. As expected of perfected Master Kucha, so what were the results of the soul searching? Reporting to the Alliance Master, I found nothing. Very well, I suppose these riffraff wouldn't possess any ancient secrets. After the grand ceremony, send people to wipe out those sects. Understood, but this old man has a question. What does this so-called ancient secret have to do with the Bailing sect that supports our alliance of ultimate bliss? Since you've asked, perfected master, do you know how the Bailing sect became the #1 sect today? It is naturally because Emperor Bailing is powerful enough and his descendants have not disgraced the family name. You're not wrong, but the bigger reason is the power behind Emperor Bailing. The power behind him. The current cultivation levels were established by Emperor Bailing, 8 in total. Heaven, Earth, Mystic, and Yellow, and above them are Universe, Cosmos, Desolate, and Barren, which are said to be the realms of celestial immortals. And Emperor Bailing, as the #1 cultivator in history, has only reached the Desolate rank. Then who do the Universe and Cosmos realms above that refer to? Could it be that the Alliance Master knows? Heh, I'm afraid it's not just some high immortal, I prefer to call them the ancient gods of the Desolate era. It is rumored that in the entire universe, everything from the trillions upon trillions of galaxies down to a single blade of grass was created by the clan of ancient gods. I don't know why they took notice of our Xuanyun world, nor do I know why they would promote a minor figure like Emperor Bailing. But if I can find even a trace of them, I will have the chance to advance to a higher dimensional existence, to even surpass Emperor Bailing. Alliance Master, are you saying that the gods who created the world truly exist, and the world we live in is merely? That's right, just a plaything in their hands, a grain of sand, and the invincible Emperor Bailing is nothing more than a speck of dust on that grain of sand. Then your purpose in having this old man constantly perform soul-searching, could it be that you wish to? That's right, I want to take down that Bailing fellow, as long as I receive guidance from the ancient gods. Never mind the insignificant Bailing sect, what does the Xuanyun world even amount to? Could it be that you are afraid, perfected master, this old man? Are you truly content to remain at the Earth realm for the rest of your life, perfected master? You must know that as soon as anyone touches the barren realm, they are either recruited or executed by the Bailing sect. Are you and I willing to live under someone else's thumb for our entire lives? No. No need to be nervous, perfected master. Only you and I know this secret. This old man will definitely keep his lips sealed. Good, I trust your methods, perfected master. I, Luigi, am also a person who proceeds with caution. As long as you do as I say, we need not worry about our grand plan failing. Yes, yes. But Alliance Master, this ancient secret is truly too difficult to find. Is that so? I see a few right now. This person possesses the secret arts of the ancient Gu clan, not to mention the profound heritage of the Gu clan. The boxing Gu she has refined is unlike anything seen before. She must have had a great opportunity, a great inheritance. And look at this person. Although she only has an early stage Earth realm cultivation, she has mastered heaven and earth simulation. She even possesses the techniques of the Zukun clan, a primordial giant beast that has long since vanished. And finally, this kid, he has no cultivation at all, yet he can refine his female companion into armor. The techniques he uses are completely unrecorded throughout history. We just need to wait for Zuying and Bo Gang to kill them and search their souls, and then we will know their secrets. Since these three are so mysterious, why don't this old man go and lend those two brutes a hand? No need. If they can't even handle this, then it's time to replace the three heroes of the Alliance of Ultimate Bliss. However, you have made a great contribution this time, perfected master. Go to the Void Refining Pool and claim your reward. You can use as many of the human cauldrons inside as you wish. Truly, thank you, Alliance Master. This old man will go at once. It is what you deserve. Go on, hurry up and raise your cultivation. It will all be mine later anyway. Die under the peony flowers. Ha, why are these wastes so hard to fight? Heh, my shadow corpses are as strong as they were in life. To have fought until now, you have my admiration. Alright, I've had enough fun. It's time to take you back and report. What the hell, a wormhole? Heh, I see you've played all your cards. Time to die. It can replicate itself. You, Hey kid, don't you lose consciousness. I'm betting the revival of the demon race on you. Ahem. Cough, his techniques are too bizarre. How can I close the gap in our strength? No, Feihua still believes in me. All of her demonic power is flowing into my body. And the cloud-stirring sword hasn't given up either. It's not over. Now I'll show you a comeback. True power lies in unity. Alone we fall, together we become unstoppable. Madara Uchiha. Watch out behind you, Feihua. Die under the peony flowers. Damn it, there's no end to them. I can't fire many more die under the peony flowers shots. If I don't interrupt this guy's technique soon, this is likely a no-win scenario. He. I can't even break through the encricklement now, not to mention this guy is so agile. Ha, I'll enjoy slowly playing you to death. Agile, that's it. Ha, it looks like you've thought of a way to break this stalemate. Ha, let me see if your little trick actually works. Die under the peony flowers. Ha, run out of tricks already. You can't hit me anyway. What a waste of effort. Spread out, don't let too many of you get blown up. Growth. Impossible, the kid is behind me. Too late. Ha, nice job. This form really puts a strain on my body. I never thought a novel I serialized in high school would actually inspire me. Roman 20 ad, space bugs attack the Earth fleet. Earth fleet Captain Lin Xiu converted a gravity weapon into a battleship engine, breaking through the bug encirclement in one fell swoop and slaying the broodmother leader to secure humanity's first victory. In the end, due to poor popularity, it got cancelled. Congratulations, host, for improving your understanding and application of the peony combination. The battle armor has fully upgraded. So this is how it upgrades, even the fatigue is gone. Did you break through to the Earth realm? Sort of, but it might not be exactly the same. My demonic power is recovering. We finally have a chance to turn things around. You damned brat, don't think you can beat me just because you broke through mid-battle. I will crush you in the most brutal way imaginable. Heh. You have chosen the path to death, don't get careless. That guy is at the peak of the Earth realm. His cultivation level surpasses yours. Power of Cage, full release, Uriah. I am now surrounded by 1,000-degree flames. Let's see how you get close to me. To think you forced me to expend life essence to activate my strongest state. You've got guts, kid. Host, fire is your weakness. This is dangerous. Let's run, I know. Die, if I run, what happens to those girls? Sob, is there anything I can do to help? Okay. Useless, it's useless. Relying on that broken sword, let's see how long you can last. Go, host, go. What a useless system. I guess I have to rely on myself. That was close. Is there nothing on me that isn't weak to fire? Cloud-stirring sword. Heh, have I scared you so much you've lost your mind? He's actually started talking to his sword. Let's see you dodge this one. Which fire net? Yundong, listen to me. I offer half of my life essence in this life to you. From now on, we shall be one symbiotic entity. Help me overcome this tribulation. As you command, my master. How can this be? This humble servant strike is one that seals our bond. This power. Yundong, I am here. What did you just say? I didn't quite catch it. Can you say it again? My master misheard. This humble servant would not dare overstep. What manner of creature are you? She's the cloud-stirring sword. I actually can't discern her cultivation level. My name is Yundong. I am a sword. This emperor's name is Feihua. I am a flower. I'm human. What the hell? Please maintain your composure, Lady Feihua, and keep your distance from my master. How did my master perceive this humble servant's true form? I have waited so long that I almost forgot I was a sword spirit. Well, about that. Honestly, it was mostly a gamble. Guess I just got lucky. I saw that huge eye blinking and figured it couldn't be an inanimate object. Ha. Actually, there's another reason. The basic premise of Foreign Sword Immortal Local Lad that I wrote was that weapons could transform into human forms. Giggle, it seems even great fortune sides with you, my master, truly worthy of being my master. I believe you will soon comprehend all of this humble servant's abilities. More than just comprehending abilities, later in the book they ended up falling in love. Why are you blushing? Oh yeah, you broken sword, how dare you push me? Oh, flower fox, you're still here? Oh, stop pinching, right, let's save little sister first. Finally, Zhu Ying's severed hand was found somewhere on the battlefield, and little sister was rescued. 1,000-ton drop, ha. Don't just stand there. Quick, take the origin restoring pill, protein. Giggle, such a fine pill and you're feeding it to a beast, what a waste. Protein, don't move, you're badly injured, leave the rest to me. Protein, don't worry, if I lose how can I save master, rest well, this will be over soon. Even that heaven and earth simulation brat was instantly defeated by me. Without that beast, how can you, a mere early-stage Earthrealm cultivator, fight against me at the peak of the Earthrealm? She is more human than you are. Where is the immortal lotus root? Tell me now, or should I beat you until you're crying before you tell me? You want the immortal lotus root. If you win, it's all yours, but let's see if you have what it takes, Giggle. Heart Meridian Burst. What is this speed? I have to end this quickly. What is this monstrous strength? It actually managed to injure me. You brat, do you want your meridians destroyed to become a cripple? You won't be in a good state either after this move is over. I have a reason why I absolutely must win. Master. Junior sister, if we use the immortal lotus root to prolong Master's life, he will turn into a demon. Besides, the alliance of ultimate bliss is incredibly dangerous. Stop dreaming. Stop tormenting the old man. Let him pass away in peace. Exactly. Do you want Master to become a monster? Take your weird bug and get out of the sect. Glutton, let's go save Master together. Protein. 10 years ago, Zio Huey Glutton, come eat some fruit. Okay, Protein. Master was the one who accepted me, an outcast. Even if he becomes a demon in the end, he will always be my master. Even if my cultivation path ends today, I must get the immortal lotus root. I'll give you credit for having guts to actually force me to activate the blissful adamant body. Not even a heaven-ranked cultivator could necessarily break my defense in one hit. Prepare yourself, brat. the one who needs to prepare is you. How is this possible? I can currently withstand a blow from a heaven-rank cultivator. How could my defense be broken by you? Ahem, I win, give me the immortal lotus root, Gus, I Bo gang, cough cough. No, I didn't lose, I don't care, I want you dead. Crap, it's a great recovery pill. I knew you were a dishonest bastard, erg. Got you, you're not daddy, don't squeeze, it hurts, ah. Lord Zukun, you're alright. Dead? This master was just closing my eyes to rest for a moment. Thanks to these two lasses, I was able to catch you. Ah, don't kill me, it's just an immortal lotus root, right? I'll send someone to the treasury to get it right now. You're a dishonest person, you will take me to the treasury. Ah, stop squeezing, let me down, I'll go, ah, I'll do whatever you say. Here, brat, this is for you, Lord Zukun, huh? Hurry up and cancel that life-draining state of yours. Eating this should help you recover a lot, thank you. But why? We're competitors. For no reason, this master just thinks you're a loyal person and finds you agreeable. This girl was willing to damage her own foundation to protect her spirit beast. It seems not all human cultivators are bad. Just to be clear, even though you helped me, Lord, I won't give up the immortal lotus root, Why isn't that you and kid here yet? You can have that whatever root. My goal is to get to the treasury. Ah, you're really giving it to me, whatever, let's. The two of us head to the treasury first, okay. Fat pig, lead the way, that's great, master can be saved, sniff, wah. My heavens, it's the attack of a sword cultivator, how terrifying, it even sliced through the mountain behind. Quick, the Hall of Delicacies has been attacked, everyone go help, yes. Don't you have that sword? You could just fight your way through, why go to all this trouble to disguise yourself? You think power comes without a price? That last strike from Yundong nearly used up all the sword's origin I've accumulated over the years. Yundong and I are one life now, it's better to let her rest properly. From here on, we can only rely on ourselves. It's going to be very dangerous from now on, you have to stick close to me if you want to see your sister Lai Tang, understand? I think Lai Tang said she'd show me something after we rescued little sister. Something about a secret treasure of the Xianxia clan, forget it. Saving senior sister with the immortal lotus root is more important. Let's go to the arena. Alliance of Ultimate Bliss, Void Refining Pool, what? Both Zuying and Bo Gang were defeated. Yes, perfected Master Kucha, they are all near the Ultimate Bliss Grand Arena right now, what a pair of wastes. To be defeated by some brats of unknown origin, what a disgrace to our alliance. You clean out all the medicinal dregs from the Void Refining Pool, let me Kucha go and meet them, yes. Alliance of Ultimate Bliss Grand Arena, what in the world happened here? Where is Bo Gang? How did the arena end up like this? Lig, it hurts, how brutal. Get over here. Tell me what happened here, reporting to the perfected master. Hero Bo Gang was taken hostage by two villains. They fought their way to the treasury. We disciples of the law enforcement hall couldn't stop them. Cough, cough. Perfected master, under these circumstances, shouldn't we report to the alliance master first? No need, if I can't even handle a small matter like this, what kind of hero am I? How can I alleviate the Alliance Master's worries? The Alliance Master's magical artifact can see everything. Yes, the perfected master is wise and powerful. Gather the disciples and follow this old man to the treasury. We will definitely slay those thieves. No is the perfect opportunity for this old man to show my worth. They are gone. You heard the situation. Perfected Master Zukun isn't here. It seems someone took an Alliance hero hostage and went to the treasury. All the experts are heading there now. The plan has changed, we'll have to take a risk. Looking at you, it seems you already have an idea. Gulp. That's right, since the other party was able to capture a hero alive, they must be very strong. When great powers fight, we can use them to do our dirty work and pick up the spoils in the chaos. This emperor was thinking the same thing. You're quite the quick thinker, kid. You just want to watch cultivators slaughter each other, don't you? The people outside have gone far enough, let's hurry up and follow them. Wait a moment, what? Right now, this emperor needs to replenish your demonic power. So suddenly, hey. Do we really have to take off our clothes for this? Let me up. To make contact with the flora's sacred body, the more surface area, the better, naturally. Damn it, the previous battle used up all my demonic power. I can't struggle at all. Fine, shut up. For something like this emperor should be the one to take the lead. This emperor can feel the desire of my body's origin for your sacred body. To recover my power, I'm really letting you off easy. Big brother, big sister, are you cultivating? The adults are busy, children shouldn't interrupt. Alright, the nuisance is gone. It's time for some essence harvesting. Didn't you say you were going to replenish my demonic power? Why does it feel like I'm the one about to be drained dry? It's been several hours since my benefactors went in. I wonder how they're doing. Look at that. Perfected Master Kucha is really absorbing a lot. I know, right? He used up so many human cauldrons in one go. How long do you think these medicinal dregs will last? Ha, they're all from the Xianxia clan. They can probably still twitch for a few hours. Water. Damn the alliance of ultimate bliss. Are they going to roast my clansmen to death under the sun? I have to save them quickly while these turtle bastards aren't looking. I hear there's a fight going on inside. Let's not get involved. Sure, why don't we make a bet on how long these guys can last? Bastards treating human lives like a game. I must. No, I can't. I promise to act as backup for my benefactors, and my cultivation is too low. I never thought this kind of chore could be so entertaining, isn't it, huh? There's someone over there. Today, I will enact justice on behalf of the heavens. I was clearly replenished, so why do I feel such a deep sense of powerlessness? I really thought I was going to graduate from being a virgin today. This feeling of being allowed to touch but not eat is unbearable. My power has returned just as I predicted. As long as this kid gets stronger, I can grow stronger in sync by absorbing his power. And now that I have that little human brat in my hands, this kid won't dare to defy me. Grow up quickly. This emperor can't wait to return to my peak. We're here, don't act rashly just yet. You old geezer, you're finally here. Hurry up and save me, your princess. You're the one who talks too much. Hurry up and open the gate for this old master. You've got some nerve, acting so arrogant in front of me, perfected Master Kucha. Don't even think about backing out of it. We beat her in the arena tournament. Open the gate now, don't make us get rough. This fat pig is completely unworthy of the title of an alliance of ultimate bliss hero. You may kill or torture him as you please, but if you dare to have designs on the treasury, then you will leave your lives behind. Don't move. Hey, whose side are you on? From the sound of it, you plan to go back on your word. A bunch of wild monkeys with no honor. Watch as I, this young master, finish all of you off. Die. Don't compare me to this fat pig, you little beast. Today, all of you will surely die. How did these two lasses end up together? Whatever, since they were strong enough to capture a hero alive, they should be able to beat this old man. Once the chaos starts, I'll find a way to sneak into the treasury. Let this old man see what you're made of. Go check out your grandma, brute. In terms of speed, this old man still has the upper hand. Soul-sucking grand technique, erg. Leaders of the human and beast races, hear my command. This heaven-responding summoning tablet is the only way for you to contact me. You shall not kill one another, or I will surely send down heavenly punishment. Yes, I, your disciple Bailing, under the protection of the ancient god, will surely lead the Bailing sect and guide the Xuan Yuan world to a glorious future. This humble one, Zukun, thanks you, Lord Ancient God. I will certainly lead the primordial giant beasts to help and support the human race. Very good, Emperor Bailing, perfected Master Zukun, you must remember the oath you made today. In 100,000 years, I shall return. We respectfully see off the ancient god. Phew, so that's the oppressive aura of an ancient god. It nearly suffocated me. Ha 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 ha, you didn't piss your pants, did you, kid? Bullshit, you're the one who pissed their pants. Brothers Yukon, now that the beast race also has a heaven-responding summoning tablet, I can rest assured. However, the path to harmony between our two races is long and arduous. It is a pity we have no time to drink and celebrate. We are in the prime of our years, we should not be idle. You may go, there will be plenty of opportunities in the future. Take care, Brother Yukon, I'm off. Daddy, little wanton, why do we have to change into their appearance every time we see Uncle Bai? Hee, to eliminate discord, of course. Little wanton has grown up so much oof. When we have conflicts, we can find other solutions besides fighting. For example, we can take on their appearance and have a proper talk. Oh, right, Daddy has a gift for you. Yay, what is it, Tada? Wow, it's a turtle. This is a little homeless Baxia. From now on, she will be your little sister. Okay. You too must protect this heaven-responding summoning tablet. What name should I give you, little sister Baxia? Quick, Daddy, hurry, use the heaven-responding summoning tablet. Summon Lord Ancient God. The Bailing sect has betrayed us. The sky is full of cultivators. Daddy can hold them off. Go, quickly, I will hold them back. Why is this happening? There must be bad people among the humans. Uncle Bai will definitely come and save Daddy and me, sob. Uncle Bai. White Empress slash. The stone tablet. All disciples hear my command. The heaven-responding summoning tablet has been destroyed. Slay perfected Master Yukon and capture the giant beast race. Humans. Damn human cultivators, damn it, you should all die. Hee ha, to think this old man actually found it, the secret of the ancient gods. You should all die, kill, to think this lass has so many secrets. But this old man doesn't dare to face a furious primordial giant beast head-on. I must report this to the Alliance Master immediately. Although it pains me greatly, this is the only way to escape. Hiss. I'll inject all the essence blood I've absorbed during this time. Flesh as soldiers, teeth as generals, kill. Such a strong killing intent. What's happening? Why did Senior get so angry? Never mind that, I have to help Senior escape first. Haha, we meet again. Outside the Elysium Alliance, in the boundless desert. Water, brother, hang in there, the moon goddess will bless you. I didn't expect prey to deliver themselves to our doorstep. You want to save these dregs. Quicksand burial. Brothers, the quicksand will take you to a safe place, erg. You damn bitch, where did you send those dregs? Gah. We've killed at least 800, if not 1,000, of you sand shifters. With your level of cultivation, you think you can trap us? I'd say you're just looking to die. Persistent bastards. Soft bone technique, holy shit. You two pieces of trash, this lady isn't so easy to catch, wow. Cough, big bro, she called us trash, should we chase her? Cough, goddammit, I've never been so humiliated in my entire life except maybe in bed, chase her. Stop right there, you damn bitch. Good, they took the bait. I have to lead these two idiots away so they don't delay my rendezvous with my benefactor. Ha, we meet again. Ha, why is she charging over here? I don't remember seeing you guys anywhere before. These guys are after us. You two without any cultivation should hurry up and escape that way. Senior Lig. Senior, are you alright? I'm fine. Damn it, I don't know what kind of technique these bastards are using that counters mine. It's you, aha. A misunderstanding, you little brat. How dare you ditch me and sneak into the treasure vault? Is this the source of demise that Senior mentioned? Wow, this is never ending, so annoying. Stop them, Waya. Oh dear. Damn it, I can't believe I got dragged into this. I can't hold on for much longer. It'll be bad if the Alliance Master shows up. If you have any tricks up your sleeve, you'd better use them now. Fei Hua, coming, stop yelling, don't go. Don't just stand there, let's go. But Senior, those two don't even have spiritual roots. How can they possibly hold off those pursuers? Anyone who can find their way to the treasure vault at a time like this can't be a pushover. Go. Cloud parting. Palm. Holy shit, if you could do this, why didn't you do it from the start? It's never ending, hurry over, that girl is trying to take it all for herself. I knew the one above was a decoy. The real entrance is here. Little girl, go break open the door. Yes, senior. Zurang, reveal yourself. That girl Yukon wants to lock us out. Don't even think about leaving me behind. Berserk pill combination 2. Zero gravity acceleration state. I still need the immortal lotus root to save my senior sister. What a persistent brat. Yukon, are you trying to get us killed? You're the one who ditched me first, and in the end, I was still the one who got to the vault first. We were even the moment you threw me to a horde of monsters. I was a little late because I had to deal with one of the 3 prodigies. Guess you're just hard to kill. Stop arguing, let's just each take what we want. You'd better think this through. This young master is helping you, you know. This kid wants the immortal lotus root too. You want the immortal lotus root too? That's right, master. The immortal lotus root is a life-saving treasure. Whoever gets it first gets to keep it. Senior, don't interfere. You want to rely on yourself, to think there's still a reckless brute like you in the human race. That's what I appreciate about you. It's a deal. So fast. What a huge treasure vault. Fei Hua, can you sense the location of the immortal lotus root? It's in that chest up ahead. I see it. Kid, this is as far as I'm helping you, huh? Where are you going? To complete my grand undertaking, you should worry about yourself first. What is that thing hiding from me? Looks like I'll have to rely on myself and Yundong from now on. Yundong. Did you get it? Yundong, nice job. Senior sister is saved. Quick, bring it over. Master. System, as long as I do this, senior sister will be resurrected, right? Yes, but to be precise, it's a rebirth. As a member of the flower demon race, we just have to wait for the immortal lotus's true Kai to complete one full cycle. I can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Hey, I'm really sorry. This is my senior sister. She's also the one who saved my life. Most of you cultivators probably see mortals as nothing more than sacrificial dogs. She's different. She saved me when I was falsely accused, fighting for justice, and died defying the sect master. I don't want a good person like her to just pass away like that. In any case, I still took the opportunity to revive someone important to me from your hands. It's only right for you to hate me. I won't hold it against you if you come looking for me in the future, though I will fight back. Master once taught me to accept the outcome of a gamble. I won't seek revenge on you, at least not right now. After all, there's still mycelial cordyceps, the blue-silver emperor, and the green dragon's head that can revive Master. No, let's forget about those. Congratulations, host, for triggering the main quest. Detected the West Province Empress of the Spirit Plant Kin Meiwei, huh? Warning, a powerful heat signature has been detected, suspected to be a Heaven Realm cultivator. Hostile intent is locked onto this area. We have to go now. A Heaven Realm cultivator is charging this way. It's probably the Bliss Sect Master, huh? Maybe the series is about to end. System, what's going on? A main quest and a crisis all at once. Damn it, where did Fei Hua run off to at a time like this? Found it. Little thing, do not interfere with this Emperor's ambitions. Get lost. Let this Emperor smash this harmful thing. Hey, what are you two doing? A Heaven Realm expert is about to arrive. Yukon, hurry and smash the wall. We need to go. Wang Yuan and you, little girl. Not until I destroy this piece of junk. Don't even think about it. You stinking flower, don't get in my way. Tian Yuan, quick, combine with me and let's kill this dwarf. What nonsense are you talking about? The Bliss Sect Master is about to come and capture us. Let's all retreat together. Techie, a brat who can't see the big picture, then use Yundong to slice the box open. Remember not to damage what's inside. All right, I'll try, but whether I can cut it open or not, we're leaving. Wang Yuan, we must destroy this thing. We can't let it out. The box is flying. Everyone, you ruined the Bliss Grand Ceremony and now you think you can just walk away. Don't you plan on giving me an explanation? Each of you possesses a great opportunity. Why don't you use them to compensate for my losses? Feihua combine. Hurry up. Gravity acceleration form, cloud stirring sword, peony. Go hem. Now's our chance, Zio Huey, follow me. Okay, no need, I can handle this. Need a hand, I still have some strength left. Cloud stirring 100 styles. Wang Yuan. Trying to escape, cooperate obediently, and perhaps I'll grant you a quick death. It was you, you bastard, who used this broken box. Today, this emperor will destroy your alliance of ultimate bliss. Roar. He, this girl is just as Kucha said. She's an emperor among the primordial giant beasts, a pure-blooded Zukun. As long as this box is gone, you won't be able to control my sisters. Die under the peony flowers. My heavens, she's actually a kun. Senior Zukun, so her name was meant literally. Then her sister must be the Baxia, carrying the alliance of ultimate bliss. Primordial giant beast, Baxia, Daeun, no, why does it look so terrifying? Daeun, don't be afraid, the wounds on your back are nothing. Big sister is coming to save you. Daeun. She actually doesn't recognize me at all. Law of Heaven, I will definitely take you back, and Earth, soul returns as one ancient possession. Looks like the blissful sect is done for, good riddance, my goal is accomplished, so I'm out of here. What are you doing now? Is this chest really that important? If we don't go now, the sect master of the blissful sect will come after us. Shut up, kid, once I let her out, this world will be mine, and then you'll just be my little pet Hess. So your goal was her from the very beginning. Let me guess, inside is the Western Continent's Empress of the Spirit Plant Clan Mayway. How could you possibly know? The beast transformed Lust Maiden, and the Baxia carrying the blissful sect. If my deduction is correct, Mayway's ability is brainwashing and control. Since you already know, this makes things easier. Once I let her out, we'll immediately charge her up and the world will be ours. There's no time, this is a 36-directional mechanism lock. Before we could even open it, the blissful sect's pursuers would have killed us 18 times over. You brat, I am just one step away from controlling the world. I'll give you half the world. I order you to help me open it. You're just a little flower demon who's lost her power. You think you can order me around? I don't want the world. Don't throw your life away for empty power. The world was mine to begin with. If I don't fight for it, then I might as well not be an empress. You have no right to lecture me, you brat. I'll open this chest myself. Feihua. I knew she looked familiar. To think she's the legendary demon empress from the ancient era, just a little more. Go. I was going to interrogate her, but the risk is just too great. Legends are better off back in their graves. Have you lost your mind? Then how am I supposed to interrogate her? Calm down. She actually has a spirit artifact protecting her. I am calm, it's not like I can escape from you anyway. I'd rather die fighting than be captured and interrogated by you. Heck, in that case, I have even more reason not to give you a quick death. He lost his grip on his magic treasure, now Lai Tang. A secret trap art from the Wandering Sand Clan, an ordinary heaven-rank cultivator really wouldn't be able to break it. You never said you'd lure out someone this strong. Cough, stop your whining, I've already rescued my little sister. I see her, I've already used quicksand to send her to a safe place. Too bad I'm special. No, you're not, this formation is designed to trap heaven-rank cultivators. Can we take him down? It's a secret trap art used for war. Dealing with him should be no problem. Dua irked. I told you I'm special. Why do you provoke me time and time again? Cough, you bastard, I'm about to die, you expect me to be nice to you. Then I let you have a taste of the consequences of defying me. Tian Yuan. How did you get so injured? That voice, is that you, senior sister? Sorry, it looks like I'm dragging you down to die with me again. No, I have a feeling I can fight alongside you. Could it be? Growth. Tian Yuan, let's go. Right. Sword come. Cloud-moving sword, fire-tipped spear, lotus combination. So you do have a secret. Good thing I didn't kill you just now. Tossing away your weapon, are you trying to surrender? You should worry about your own life first. After all, I'm not the only one who wants you dead. Thanks, Wang Yuan. It's you, let's do this. You captured my most adorable little sister to be a slave. Oof. The grudge for wiping out my clan is irreconcilable. Die. If you hadn't monopolized the spirit plants of the Western continent, Master's poison would have been cured long ago. Meteor Fist Gua. You bunch of worthless small fry. Accept your fate, what you owe me. I'm taking it back right now. Give me back the little peony I planted. My condolences. Thanks to you, the Wandering Sand Clan will be revived. You need to rest. Come back to the village with me. The secret treasure of the Wandering Sand Clan. I'm looking forward to it. Tui, you made this old man waste 100 years of cultivation. I take back what I said before. You're not bad, kid. Once we awaken the great fortune, we'll have her toast you. There's no need for that. We still have many misunderstandings to clear up. Leave that chest with me and I'll give you an explanation. Tian Yuan, are these all your friends? I guess so. It's just that I owe that girl quite a bit. This is immortal lotus root. That's right, I never expected it to be a twin-born, tuber-connected lotus. Master Heiyu, all right, your master will be fine. The blissful sect has already collapsed. Next, I will lead the Tian Yuan sect to occupy this place. Everyone will meet again someday. Take care of yourselves. Benefactor, we are willing to completely eradicate the blissful sect with you and avenge your partner. She's still around. As they say, a scourge lasts 1,000 years. She won't die that easily. This time, she should have learned to behave, probably.